everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today. Today's prompt was ash, and it's a great example of what happens when things just straight up don't work out the way you want them to, and how to make something you're struggling with work. So let's talk a little bit about that. I started with the simple idea of an urn that had tipped over and was spilling out ashes. But honestly, that was a little bit too boring and kind of morbid, and not in a meaningful way. I also just wasn't feeling it, the artwork or the prompt. I found the whole piece pretty lame and uninteresting halfway through me working on it, especially for something that was supposed to be realistic. I think that was because I just wasn't invested, and it shows in my lazy lines. So instead of continuing to make it realistic, I thought I'd make it more playful by adding a funny surprised face in the background, like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And keeping it overall cartoony, to kind of make the messy lines look intentional, and to contrast the semi-realistic urn. I think it helped out a lot. It makes it feel like a simple comic panel, which is kinda neat, because it gets the message across pretty clearly, and it doesn't have to be detailed to do that. Hooray! So sometimes taking a step back and reevaluating the theme or general feel of your art, and changing your direction, even halfway through, can really help the final outcome, if you can't start over entirely. In my case, I went from a realistic, trying to be meaningful, spilled urn to a comical, cartoony piece. And I personally think it ended up a lot better at the end because of it. Would a professional artist say the same thing? Who knows? Am I particularly proud of this piece? I'd be lying if I said absolutely yes. I've been struggling to get prompt ideas out and making videos for them every day, so every piece I do is much messier than my art normally is. And when something like this happens, that reflects my day's frustrations and lack of creative inspiration, it makes me really not want to share it, and definitely lowers my morale. That being said, it all comes back to one thing: reminding myself why I did this in the first place. And it's not just to improve myself as an artist and my skill level, but to show you guys out there that artists have bad days too, and not all of our art is perfect. It's so easy to only share the good stuff, and I can see where only wanting to share the best is important for making money, because it's attractive to clients, and it's like a first impression of the artist. But I'm not worried about making money for Inktober. That's not what Inktober is about. So why not just share it here, where people can hopefully learn with me and find some enjoyment in my struggle through Inktober. And once Inktober is done, we can spend more time on nicer, more finished, more thought out and polished pieces of art. Those will hopefully reflect my style and my skill level a little better. And my boyfriend always tells me that someone out there will appreciate your art no matter what. It might only be one person for that particular piece, but if they see it, they'll be happy. Maybe they'll like it enough to buy it. And in that sense, you've succeeded, even just making them happy. So I want to be that person that appreciates your art. If you're new or uncertain or just in a really uncomfortable spot with yourself or just your art, believe me, I know. I feel you. I've been there, and I'm there still sometimes. When it's all said and done though, what matters is you're doing what you love, and you're improving yourself and your skills and all that stuff in between. And what's the harm in that, as long as you're not hurting anybody? With all that said, I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that I helped a little bit. Don't forget that everybody has the right to draw, professional or not. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope to see you again, and remember to stay creative.